Welcome, 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 everyone. And I don't have that reverb yet.
You're not going to get it.
Awesome. Welcome back to day 3 of Black Women Equal Pay Day. I am so super stoked and excited about being here with you. I cannot believe the feedback that we have received so far. From people interested, new people joining the Facebook group. If you have not done so, go to bit.ly/pay yourself 21. Again, pay yourself 21. It will take you over so that you can see the Black Women's Equal Pay Day website, and you can join. Also, you'll find tons of freebies there for you to help you get started in the entrepreneur space and on the internet streets, or even if you're already there and you just need some extra boost, some extra confidence, some extra tools and strategies, they're there for you, as well as some other offerings. So go find that on bit.ly/pay yourself 21. And my co-host on here, Rose Fauntleroy, would you like to say something to the people?
I'm going to unmute. Wanted to make sure that when I'm over here sharing out the broadcast, I don't have
the
reverb going on. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It is Saturday night. And you know what that means.
Just got paid. No, that's Friday.
Got paid. Well, some people get paid. Some people get paid on Saturday. It's all good. But how y'all doing this evening? Y'all ready for a good discussion this evening, a good conversation? Because like we were saying yesterday, we don't want to be the only ones talking. We want you all to join us and talk back. To those in the room, Juanice, Marnie, Ursula, Yvette, thank you all they know that everything is not broadcast live. So they came into the private area. See, if y'all register, go over to the Facebook group, you get the link and you can be in the private room with us. All kinds of shenanigans go on behind the scenes. But we are happy that all of you all are joining us tonight, because we're going to be talking about paying yourself first. And are you ready to get mad? Get mad about what? Get mad about your money. Make a decision to pay yourself first. All anger, and we were talking about this last night, and then I heard it on TV, on the news this morning when I was watching the news. All anger is not bad anger. When you get mad and get angry, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go out and kill somebody, shoot somebody, hurt somebody. Your anger can be used in a good way. And now is the time to use it in a good way, to create for yourself, to start your own business, to grow your own business, to pay yourself first. What are you all's thoughts? I'm not going to talk all night. My stomach full, I done ate, put my foot in some spaghetti. So I want to hear what you all have to say.
I'm going to jump in because I can. Hey, Ava, thank you for joining. Please share the broadcast. So even though all anger is not bad anger, I agree, because some anger is really motivation. Some anger is more passion. Some anger is just igniting fire and fuel and burning some, that desire that you have to make changes, to make things happen, to move differently, to think differently. So I agree with you, but externally, what the message sometimes carry forth, especially in corporate America or just to our counterparts, they don't see that. They see an angry Black woman, right? And no matter what, time and time again, history has proven it such. Think about, I'm gonna go all the way back to Harriet Tubman, Black Moses. When you think about what she was doing, think about if you've ever seen, I've done a lot of research because I love history. If you've seen the pictures when they were trying to capture her and how they made her look, Now they say she wasn't easy on the eyes. That's up for somebody's opinion. You know, who knows? She was married, so somebody liked it. But again, it's based on other people and what they were saying and how they depicted her. And of course, if you saw those pictures, you would say, "Ooh, wow, you know, she wasn't a looker." But they depicted her because of her passion.
Perception.
Yes, she was angry. Yes, perception, absolutely. Yes, she was angry. Yes, she wanted to set her people free, but it was her passion that was driving her to get her people free. And it wasn't because she was angry. She knew what it felt like to be on the other side. She knew what it was like to be free. So to our counterparts, of course, we look angry. Of course, thank you, Ms. Berlin. Thank you for joining us and sharing. Of course, she, you know, probably got angry at some times because she had to protect herself and the people that she was carrying. But doesn't necessarily mean her character and who she really was angry. She just believed in her people. She believed that they were due freedom. They were born free and should live as such. I can keep going down to, I can't think of her name. The movie was created. Actually, Toni Morrison wrote a book, and I don't know why I'm blanking on the book.
Beloved?
Beloved, based on a true story. Some people don't even know that. And the history with the woman and why she would kill her child. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that. Well, she killed her child because her first son, her first child was a boy, was birthed from her husband, was the only child she had from her husband. She had 5 more children. They were girls, were not her husband's. She was already mixed. No, actually, her mother was mixed. She was mixed, all slave master children. And so guess what her children looked like from her slave master? They looked like they could pass. Very, very fair. She was trying to kill all of her children and herself, historically. But if you were to see the pictures, because I've seen these pictures of her too, of the way they depicted,
of course,
her on the stand, because they prosecuted. Now let's talk about mixed up mindset. So I understand why she did what she did. She was trying to escape. They got caught over in Ohio, y'all. So they escaped because there are parts of, I went to school in Southern Indiana. You could look across the Kentucky. I mean, you could literally spit across the Kentucky and you would see people enslaved. You would stand over in Indiana and be free. So think about the mindset and what that does to someone's mind. They're working enslaved, but they could look over and see Black people who are free and couldn't do anything about it. I'll take it a step further and then I'll come back to the story. Think about that when we work in this 9 to 5 and not getting paid our worth. We steadily working, steadily busting our behinds, steadily going to work, sick, steadily, making excuses as to why you can't be with your kids for this, that, and the other, because you've got work, but you're steadily working for pennies. And you haven't gotten mad yet because you still do it.
No, you got mad, but in the heat of the emotion. But once the emotion and the passion dies down, then you go right on back to work.
Then you're not mad enough. You're not mad enough.
What happens in the heat of the emotion?
Absolutely.
When the emotion cools, you think, well, I have bills, I have children, I have this, that, and the other. So off to work you go.
But you still don't take a stand. Some of us are too afraid. I mean, let's be real talk. Some of us are a little afraid to take that stand. So I will halfway agree. Halfway agree.
I've been there. I'm sure you've been there too.
And that's why I'm speaking from a space of Familiarity. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We all haven't always been free. We all have not always been free.
Well, and not so much about just being completely free without a job. Even when you're in that job, you get comfortable and you get complacent. And even to the point of looking for another job. When I left one job after 15 years, I went to another job.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when, and how many years had I been saying, I'm going to find another job before I actually did it.
Right.
Then once I did it, once you take the action, then you was like, why did I do this a long time ago?
Right.
But you got to take the action.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So going back to the story, and then I'm a sit down for a minute, y'all.
I like the story. Go ahead.
So going back to the story, the mindset, not only can Black enslaved people, African American enslaved folk, look over and see free Black men and women, the mindset of the slave masters was so skewed. So the gentleman who was the father of the children that she tried to kill, one she did, was successful. He sat and cried with the child on the stoop of the house, and then wrapped the child up and put the child on the side of the saddle and rode back to the plantation. That I'm still trying to figure out that mindset behind that. And that goes, I mean, and we go through that too when we feel like we're unheard. Things happen in the workspace unjustifiably, and you're trying to understand someone's logic, and you cannot, because it doesn't make sense to you, and they cannot articulate why they make some decisions. I don't know about you. I've been in a conversation. Let me use me so it'll make sense. I've been in conversations before in corporate America where in an evaluation, annual review, and I didn't get what I thought I should have received. So then I start asking questions. And as you start asking questions and they can't answer you, you're like, what, why, are you not? Because you can't tell me why. You can't tell me why, you're giving me a stellar review, but you're not increasing my pay. That makes no sense to me. You're not giving me a bonus. That makes no sense to me. You're only giving me, COLA. That doesn't mean anything to me.
It's not.
You're going to give that to everybody, right?
It's not in the budget.
No, I mean, not even, that excuse has never ever come up either. So that's what I'm saying. Now, logically, if someone were to say, it's just not in our budget and across the board, we're not giving any raises or any bonuses to anyone, then I would say, okay, no. They're not going to say that, right?
I've been told that before.
Oh, wow.
No one is going to get a raise this year because it's not in the budget. But we had a stellar year. I tell you what, I'll meet you down at HR. No, for real. I need them to tell me and to show me that it's not in the budget.
Right.
Now, see, they just had this big meeting saying that it was a stellar year and we broke records and all of that. You shouldn't have a big meeting with everybody and then come back and say, well, nobody's getting a raise. Y'all got to show that to me.
Right. Right. So, yeah. So, it's just the mindset, the logic behind, and we get frustrated in that space, right? We get frustrated because no one can justify the actions or why they're not supporting you as an employee, especially if you're a great one. You deserve everything that's coming to you and more and more. And so that's why we're here today, because Black Women Equal Pay Day is all about educating. It's all about us coming together, banding together and taking a stance. Yesterday, we mentioned if every one of us took a stance, I mean, we'd be so powerful. There'd be no other recourse for many of the corporations, businesses, owners to buckle, to give into what the demand is to make up for the loss that occurs every year. I don't know if you guys know this and how Black Women Equal Pay Day is equated. It moves, it shifts each year because it goes by the percent in which we are behind, Black women are behind our counterparts, the white males, in pay. And so however long it takes us to make up for that amount is when Black Women Equal Pay Day is. I think I just educated someone. Somebody say wow in the chat.
It takes about 18 months.
Right.
So it takes about 18 months to make up that gap. 18 months. That's a year and a half.
There. Okay. Right. That means they're running around the track.
That means you're working for 18 months.
Right. Wow. And so that's where the unfairness comes. It's shameful. It's shameful. And they should feel it.
It's criminal.
Yes, they should feel it.
It's unfortunate.
Hey, Ava, thank you for joining us. And so I'm going to be quiet, like you said. Let's talk about it. We want to hear from the audience and what you guys have to say tonight, because we did a lot of talking yesterday. And we want to know what your thoughts are. And we said we were going to share something, so we'll wait till we share something later. How angry are you? Or why are you angry? Or why aren't you angry? What can you do about it? What should you do about it? And again, go to bit.ly/payyourself21 to join the movement. We need as many women involved that we can possibly have to make us stronger. We come every year to educate everyone on this. It affects us. Even us entrepreneurs, it affects us.
Absolutely.
And so we need as many women to be involved in this movement as possible. So if you have not shared the broadcast, please share the broadcast and invite people. You can give out the link. Don't be stingy. We're here to help each and every one of you. So why are you not angry? Why are you not angry? Or are you angry and maybe just don't know what to do? Don't know how to move in your situation?
That could be too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they say women can earn and save $431,360 for retirement using the money that is not given to us due to the wage gap. Yeah. That's almost $500,000 that could be going to savings, investments, all of that.
Right.
We can buy 2 homes. We can buy a few homes.
Right. It's almost
what are they saying in the chat? Can people come off mute? What are they saying in the chat?
Not no one's talking. Are you guys wow? They said wow was the last thing they've said. Are you guys like in awe and shocked that the information that we're sharing with you right now?
I mean, it is shocking.
It is. And I will say, for a person, a Black woman who works 40 years, you're missing out on $1 million. Mm-hmm. By the time you end your 40-year career, you have lost $1 million.
Who is this? Yeah, Marnie, I wasn't the only one that was told that. Marnie said she's been told that after having a meeting saying how well they did, but no increases. Mm-hmm. I've heard, yeah.
Someone got an increase.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone did. AJ saying she thinks she's more angry at herself for following along for so long. Oh my.
Yeah, because you don't, but you know what? It's what that old adage says, AJ. We don't know, you don't know what you don't know. And then when you find out, it's like, what? How in the world did I not notice or realize that? But we find out things in due season.
Right.
Juanita says she's mad because they want to use our knowledge and not pay us our worth. Absolutely. They do it every day. And it's not just us, it's women of color, period. It's women, period.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
women.
it's just like the
But it's us that is at the lower end of the totem pole.
Right. It's the conversation we had on Clubhouse. That's why I said you guys need to join us on Clubhouse. If you have not, go to bit.ly/pink and paid clubhouse. Pink and paid clubhouse. If you need an invite, and we'll make sure to get you an invite so you can join us in the conversation. Coach was mentioning how they just
Pink and paid clubhouse.
Yeah, that's it. Pink and paid clubhouse. They take our culture, period. And she got into a conversation about the war on drugs and weed and how many people had been put in jail for weed or selling, marijuana. And now it's a whole revenue stream for a lot of our counterparts. Oh, now we're going to legalize it to make money. But the people that they arrested, they're still in jail. And it affects our community.
Absolutely. Not that it's a whole new revenue stream. It's a revenue stream that they've created that still keeps us out from getting into it, because to get I don't want to say a grow house. I can't think of what they call it. That's about $700,000 just to start one. So they set up a new revenue stream, but they still try to keep it out of your reach.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know. I looked into it.
There are loopholes like everything.
Oh yeah, you could just, you could get together some investors.
Mm-hmm. And Ava Wani says she's mad because they want to use our. Oh, you just said that. Someone else said something else. I don't want to make sure we miss it.
Yeah, Monty, you're right. Jail and prison is a business itself. Absolutely.
AJ says she was just a play by the rules girl. We all are.
We all were.
We are all conditioned to do that. I still catch myself and I'm by myself, still trying to play somebody's rules.
Mm-hmm. Because think about it, how long you've been conditioned over the years to think that way.
Right.
It's hard to change it overnight. When even I look at me, I've been retired almost 2 years now, but I still am ingrained. It's still ingrained in me. And I noticed it today. Monday through Friday, I went to work. Saturday and Sundays were my days. Saturday may be my day to rest because I don't work all week.
Right.
So I caught myself today not wanting to do anything, just to want to rest, almost like I'm still going to work on Monday morning. Mm-hmm. So it's a condition, and and it takes a while to get out of that. It really does.
Mm-hmm. Over on Facebook land, we have Ava saying she really hadn't thought about this subject until she joined this movement, and she found out, when she found out, she was very sad about it.
Yeah, and it can make you sad. It's depressing. AJ, you're absolutely right. It was your upbringing. It was most of our upbringing. That's why we went to school, go to college, or if you don't go to college, you get a job and you try to get the best job you can and you stay there until you retire.
Right.
And if you leave, the first thing they're going to say is, why are you leaving that good job?
That good job.
Good job. You got a good job.
Right.
And from whence they came, it was a good job. We can't say that it wasn't. It's just that they didn't know, but they passed on to us what they did know. They did the best they could.
Right.
I don't fault any of that, but it's a new day now. It's definitely a new day now. And we need to accelerate it a little more.
So it's time for you to get angry. And begin to find ways in which you can pay yourself. Write your own check. There's so many ways you can do it. So make sure you go to bit.ly/pay yourself and let's make it happen. Let us help you. Let us support you, encourage you, motivate you, inspire you to be, that person that demands their worth. And sometimes it comes out to, it'll boil down to, we just don't think we're worthy enough. We don't think we, honor it. Either we don't know about it, and so we move without not that knowledge. Like like Ava said, she didn't even know about it until she joined the movement. So we move and just not knowing that this is occurring and how it's affecting us as a people, as a culture. And then the other part is afraid to move or afraid to act within it for various reasons. And we talked about fear earlier, and it could be fear of not wanting to say something or speak up because we need to be that good person who follows the rules, or we are afraid of what others will say because we may step outside the box or jump out of that barrel with the crabs in it. And so we're afraid of what people will say and think about us. We may have a fear of failure. If I do this, if I move differently or think differently or even talk differently, I'm afraid that it might not go the way it's supposed to go. And then I have to look at people who said, I told you so. And no one wants to be in those positions. Those are three very hard areas or situations to experience. But that's why you join a movement, you join a community, you join like-minded people who think the way you think. And if this is inspiring you right now, go to bit.ly/pay yourself and join the movement. Come with us, get involved. We equip, you will know a lot of this information. You will be able to move, but it's also to free yourself. Let me shed some light on about what's happened so far this past year. If the pandemic has not taught you anything else, it should have taught you the strength that you have. It should have taught that you are wiser than what you thought you were. Because I'm pretty sure you had to make some decisions during this pandemic that otherwise you would not have had to make, whether it be about your home, your children, your job. But even that, it should have been freeing, that you should be able to see there are other ways. When you were making those decisions and making things happen, there are other ways to do things. There are other ways to make things happen. And there is not a better time than right now to make one more decision and to choose you over everything else. To make a decision to choose you, to step out and demand your worth, to make more than what you're making, and that you make those decisions. You say who, like on Pretty Woman, you say who, and you say when. It's that kind of time right now. There have been many millionaires made during this pandemic. So for people to say, oh, I can't because I've experienced this, or no, I can't, people were still buying. People will purchase what you sell. People want what you have. And if no one's told you that, I'm here to tell you that. You have an experience, you have a story, you have expertise in an area that someone needs, either to hear, to experience, to get to know you. You've just got to take a step. So go to bit.ly/pay yourself and let that be the first step. Rose?
Wow. How can I follow that, Stephanie? Wow. We're a standing ovation, y'all. I mean, it's just time. It's time. We can't say that we don't know anymore. You find out things in due season. And now is the season to make the difference. Now's the time. Now you know. So now's the time to lay the foundation. Well, the foundation has been laid. Now it's time to build on that foundation. Mm-hmm. And to not always go it alone, but to talk to your counterparts. You're still in the job, talk to some of your coworkers. See if they know. I bet most of them don't. And to get them on board, you register, you all do it as a group. Maybe start an organization within your organization for something like that. to let them know that we know you're paying us less and we're not going to stand for that anymore. Because see, there's always, as they say, safety in numbers. You go in there alone, it's easy for them to throw all kinds, it's not in the budget. We didn't do this, we didn't do that. You know, you're just one person. You're just one person. Nobody else is complaining. You the troublemaker. You know, you the troublemaker. I heard that so many times. You the troublemaker. Nobody else, because they scared. So get people behind you to go with you, to stand with you. They can't ignore the numbers. And that's all I have.
All right now. Anyone else in the room have anything they want to say? Anybody on the live? You have any last comments before we wrap this up? We thank you again for joining us on the day 3 of our Black Women Equal Pay Day. Again, if you have not done so, make sure you go and register on bit.ly/payyourself21. Again, bit.ly/payyourself21. Go and get some of the freebies on there. Some of them will set you free. Some of them will, already give you some strategies that you're like, wow, ooh, I needed to know this. I'm glad I ran across this. So make sure you do that and join the movement. We'll be glad to have you. I'm excited to have you. We have 2 more days. And we have some special guests coming up. If you've checked the email, this is the time now. If you checked your email, you'll know we have a keyword. Place that keyword and there's following the instructions and you'll be able to win a prize. So go on out there. We'll see you in the chat. We'll check the chats. Make sure you put in the keyword. Yep. You got to stay tuned and it changes each day. So stay tuned. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us.